Welcome to practice. My name is Bree, and this class is designed for the morning. If it's not the morning, you can absolutely still do it. But the intent behind the practice is you've just woken up and you get that wash of dread of things that you need to do. You feel overwhelmed. You know you need to move your body. You know you want to move your body, but you just can't get to that space of feeling the motivation to do it. That's why I'm here for you today. So we'll need a yoga mat, need some yoga blocks, and probably a yoga strap. And once you get those items or something that looks like those items, we'll have a lie down. And as you lie down, it might be a good idea to have the blocks and straps nearby. And we'll start with the feet on the floor. Once you get them, move them a little bit wider so the knees can start to knock in. You feel the back of the waist open up, a little back release. And I love options, so I'm going to give you an option to have the hands on the belly, hands on the heart. Okay, hands on the body is a little more grounding, a little more, hey, I'm here. Otherwise, we have arms out to the sides into a cactus, or getting into a little chest opening with the hands stacking into a diamond shape. Be here for a few amount of breaths, so make sure that you choose something that feels good. Always giving yourself the freedom to change your mind and work a little differently as we proceed. In your chosen shape, start to notice your breath without needing to change it, to force it, to morph it into anything else. Just follow where it goes. And as you do notice this breath, I want you to think about how you were just feeling before we started this video. And if it wasn't optimal, the first and fastest thing that we can do is change to a better breath so that you can feel ready in your body. You can feel ready for your day. Even if you were feeling great, we're about to feel even better. So please, wherever you're at, take a big exhale, move as much breath as you can out. Exhale, 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 exhale. Through the nose, please inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, we're expanding, 1, and hold. Soften the jaw, soften the shoulders. And then big exhale out of the mouth. Empty, 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 empty. Mouth will close. Inhale in through nose for 5, 4, 3. We're really expanding through the ribs, through the belly. 2, 1. Hold just a little longer than before. Do your best to soften around the face, round through the collarbone to the front of the throat. And then exhale, move the breath out. One more like that. Inhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll hold. We soften along the spine, through the back of the hips. Get your brain soften in your head a little bit. And then open the mouth and exhale, let it out. Better breath in through the nose. Better breath out through the nose. Inhale, take in a little more breath. Exhale, move out a little more breath. Do one more breathing technique together. Let's take an inhale, please, for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll hold at the top. Pause. Feel your first version of full. I want you to sip in a little bit more breath, lung expansion. Hold that. Feel this good added internal tension. And we're going to exhale to the nose in 3, 2, exhale, move it out. Through the nose, inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's a hold. Now there's more space. Feel it, connect to it. Take a lung expansion, sip in more breath. Hold that. As you hold that, soften around the jaw, soften around through the ears, through the temples. And in 3, 2, 1, exhaling out of the nose. Again, inhale into the nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Allow yourself just to be here in space. You showed up for yourself. Experience that. Take a lung expansion, breath in. Hold that. Think of this as a pause button on your day. You get to examine, you get to pay attention, you get to be here. In 3, 2, 1, through the nose, exhale. Now this is the last one. You're going to hold for as long as you can. Take an inhale through the nose, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. First hold. I know you have more space. Take lung expansion, breath in. Hold. Now I want you to hold as long as you can. Witness the stillness. You need to exhale. It's out of the nose and controlled. Whenever that does happen, wherever the arms are, do place them down by the belly. And adjust the breath so that we have stronger, steady breaths in. Stronger meaning you are connected to the sensation of your inhale, and stronger, steady breaths out. Creating a pattern that's repeatable and sustainable. And on your next inhale, let's reach the arms up over your head. Stretch the feet long to the bottom of the mat. Reaching, 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 reaching. And then exhale, let it go, soften. And let's do it again. Let's take an inhale, reach the arms up. Reach the legs long, point the toes a little, tuck the tailbone a little, lengthen through the back a little. And then exhale, soften. Let's bring the arms out into a cactus shape. So we have bends at about 90 degrees. We'll slide the knees back to a bend. Move the feet as wide as the edges of your mat. And have a good flex to the feet. We're going to be working on the edges. Take an inhale. Exhale, both knees fall over to your left, but that right knee is reaching down toward the bottom left corner of the mat. Top of the right thigh is stretching. Top of that right hip is stretching. As you inhale, legs come back up through center, feet plant flat on the floor. And then exhale, both knees are falling over to your right. There's that reach of that left thigh forward. We get that nice stuff happening through the top of the thigh, top of the left hip, maybe even around through the waist. Inhale back up through center. We'll do a couple more on your own. And that pace might be a little faster than the first one or a little slower than the first one. Part of reprogramming that block of, oh, I need to move today, oh, I need to practice today, is reframing it so that when you get on your mat, you move in a way that feels good. You move at a pace that is breathable. You get to explore. So it takes the rigidity out of it, adds in a little bit more excitement. Do one more round. These are nice and easy. As the knees come back through center, walk the feet close so they start to lace up, the inner thighs start to lace up, and both feet are going to lift up off of the mat. Keep your arms into a cactus position, pressing the backs of the hands down toward the floor, the backs of the forearms down toward the floor. And we'll do our best to keep the legs laced together. Use an inhale, get some space through belly, through back of the hips. Let's exhale, move the legs over to the left, almost all the way to touch. So now we're turning into the core, into the obliques. As we inhale, legs come back up through center. Knees are squeezing together. And exhale over through the right. Inhale up through center. Back of the head is on the floor, but it's not pressing into it. Exhale over through the left. And work a couple more on your own. As we heat up the core, it's really easy to start tensing through the jaw and through the neck. So to have that in check, release it. And we'll make this the last round of these. As you approach that center line, go ahead and split the knees, have the hands around through the shins, and hug the knees toward the armpits. Kind of like a child's pose on our back, and begin to sway side to side. And reaching through center, we'll hug the knees in. Knees are now hugging together, hugging toward the chest, pointing through the toes. We'll start a gentle rock forward and back. And as you gain some momentum, let's see how far forward we can get without the feet making contact with the mat, and how slowly we can work back with the spine rolling toward the floor. Let's try for about 3 more. So on that third one, we're all the way up, and we'll come into a tabletop. You've lost your hair clip like me. Reassess, reassemble, get ready. So that when we land in that tabletop, we have the hands stacking right underneath the shoulders. We have the knees right underneath the hips to start. I want you to look at your hands. As you look at your hands, take one hand, lift it up, place it down in a different position than what it just was. And we'll continue that. And this is what a hand walk is all about. So bit by bit, exploring backs of the hands, peeling through the fingers. I like to place on an exhale, or if I'm working a little bit quicker, free breathe, but make sure my exhale is longer than my inhale. When we hold our breath on the exhale, we're kind of training our brains that there is something the matter. So steady, smooth exhales will help us move in a way where our body feels we are supported and protected. For the next few pads, we'll move everything back through center. From here, some cow cats. As we inhale, belly goes low, pulling the heart forward. Maybe looking up. Exhale, pressing the hands down, belly hugs up, upper back is lifting up, shoulders are opening up. Inhale, pull through for that cow. Exhale through cat. Work a few more. I usually find that slower is more interesting here. We'll approach our last round. As we get there, we'll meet in center neutral through our tabletop. Please look for one of your blocks. If you don't have a block, stack of books might work. As long as the surface is pretty stable, we'll set the block underneath left hand, and we're going to move the block slightly forward of the left shoulder line. Okay, so no longer in that stack. With all of this space, take the right hand and reach it open toward the ceiling. From here, right hand will go behind the back of the head. Elbows now tallest point, spiraling right side of the chest, breath in. Exhale, reach down, right elbow toward the left hand, maybe even further down the block. Keeping that arm straight. Inhale, open up, rotate, right side of chest, right side of the ribs. Exhale, right back down, right elbow toward hand and block. Last one. Inhale, open up. Exhale, work to close. Inhale, open all the way up. Right arm goes up toward the ceiling. Reach to the fingers. Exhale, slide the right arm through. We have a thread the needle. Block probably moves out of the way. Left hand adjusts so that you can lean a little bit in through that right shoulder. If this is feeling great, we stay. If we want to add on, sliding that left leg out into a half straddle. The sole of the left foot will be on the floor, but that inner foot will be hugging toward the center line, like toward that right inner knee. Still room to go. Left arm can reach up toward the ceiling. Maybe even it's a lean back. Get intentional about the next 3 breaths you take. Where do you want that breath moving? Where is it tight? Exhale, that left hand will set down if it's up. Left foot will slide back if it was out, all the way through to your tabletop. Thinking some barrel rolls, I'd like you to soften the belly toward the floor. We're going to make a giant circle with the belly. As you inhale, pull the belly over to the right, pull the right side of the ribs up, all the way up like we're moving through a cat. And as we exhale, belly ribs hug through to the left, all the way down back to the floor. Inhale, same direction, over through the right, up through your cat, barrel roll all the way over through the left and down. We'll reverse it. This time over to the left. We inhale, press, reach, exhale over to the right, belly through center. Inhale over to the left, all the way up, and exhale through down and to the right. Grab your block, this time placing it underneath your right hand. It's going forward to the right shoulder line slightly. Left hand opens all the way up to the ceiling as you inhale. Exhale, bend the left elbow, hand goes behind the back of the head. Massive space, left side of the chest opens, inhale. Exhale, left elbow across, down toward the right hand, perhaps a little further toward the block. Inhale, open up. So pressing through that right hand and the knees as your base. Exhale, close. Elbow goes down toward the hand, down toward the block. Last one. Open all the way up. Right hand pushes down, left hand reaches up. Tons of space. Swim through that space. Exhale, left arm weaves through, left shoulder sets down. Right block, push it out of your way. Start to lean a little bit more through the left shoulder. And we can add on as needed. Right foot can go out, sole of the foot is down. Right hand can open up. Didn't mention on the other side, you could do circles with that top arm, draw it behind the back, reach for that inner thigh. Connect to the spot that feels most tight and send 2 breaths in that direction. Right hand releases. If it's out, right knee releases. If it's out, slide it back through tabletop. 2 more barrel rolls each direction, starting with the left. Go ahead. Being able to notice when there's tension is a skill. And then being able to breathe into that tension once you spot it, that takes practice, but it's also a skill. As you're ready, meet you in downward facing dog. As you press back to downward facing dog, do the same thing you did with your hands with your feet. Explore. So it's not just a automatic pedal. So what happens if you bend your knees? Happens if the feet walk to the left or to the right. The legs can straighten. The hips can move. In a moment, we'll pick up the pace a bit, but I'd like you to have that same sense of, oh, this is enjoyable. I feel freedom. I feel my breath, even though we're moving a little bit quicker. So let's pad the feet through neutral. You're sitting around under the hips. As you inhale, lift the heels nice and high. Exhale, roll it forward into your plank. Find the shoulders right over the wrists. Maybe they're a little bit past. Pause here. Squeeze the inner parts of the forearms together. Imagine the hands are going to pull together. And then at the same time, imagine those hands are going to draw back and scrub toward the feet. Feet want to scrub toward the hands. Take a breath in here. Exhale, set the knees down, lower all the way down and forward. If something's in your way, push it out of your way. Hands will go forward to the shoulders, tent through your 10 fingertips. Rolling cobras as you inhale, lift all the way up. And exhale, roll it all the way down. Inhale, heart lifts up. Tops of the feet press down. Exhale, heart reaches forward in space all the way. We got one more. Hands slide back behind the shoulders. Curl the toes. We'll press up modified plank. As we get in that modified plank, let's walk the knees together. We'll get the heels closer to the butt. The left hand in line with the center of the knees. And slide both of the legs over to your left, right arm up toward the ceiling into our modified side plank. Now staying here might be plenty. If you'd like a little bit more work, right leg can stack so that the inside of the right foot begins to push down and roll. And then another option, that left knee goes to the chest. As you hold here, feel your base, left hand, right foot, or left hand, both knees. Adding on, so that top arm reaches. We'll take an exhale, right arm goes behind, right hand goes behind the back of the head, open up a little bit. And then exhale, close, right elbow down. So it gets spicy really quick. If you need to down level in any way, go for it. As we inhale, right elbow goes up toward the ceiling. And an exhale to close. Inhale to open up. Exhale to close. Inhale, open. Knee sets down if it's up. Both knees stack if they were out. Right hand sets down. Roll it back through center. Toes tuck under, press back downward facing dog. Slow down 2 breaths. Inhale, lift the heels up. Exhale, roll forward into your plank. Hands want to squeeze together. Inner arm bones have a sense of magnetism. Feet to hands to feet. Feel the low belly lifted. Breath in. Exhale, knees come down, lower all the way down and forward. 3 rounds of your best, freest rolling cobras. I really like to use these even in place of up dogs or regular cobras. Because what it can help you do, you start to pay attention as you're lowering down, you use less pressure through the hands. You're building a good amount of back strength. Or you can use the hands a lot to find that extra bit of length. Hands will go back under the shoulders. Toes curl under, exhale, press up into that modified plank. From here, roll to the other side so we can see. The knees come together. The right hand will be in line between your 2 knees, and the feet shimmy off the mat behind you. Left arm goes up to the ceiling. If you want a little more, that left leg extends out. And if you want a little more, that right knee hugs up. It's not a little more, it's a lot more. It's spicy. We'll reach the left arm up. Bend the left elbow, hand goes behind the back of the head. As you exhale, let's hug it down. Inhale, open up. Now the upper levels are not better. They're just better suited for different energy levels. Exhale, roll it down. So it totally depends on what you're bringing to the mat today, what you want today. Last one. Inhale, open up. Get that knee a little higher maybe. Exhale, hug it down. Inhale, back up. Reset. Reset if you're anywhere than where we started. Left arm up. Left hand down, and we'll press it back, downward facing dog. Slow down, 2 breaths. Inhale, lift the heels high. Left leg lifts up, bend your knee and open up through your hip. Squeeze your heel toward your butt a little bit more. Feel the hamstrings in the back of the left leg turn on, and draw 2 circles in each direction with the knee. You're moving with the knee, but it's a sensation controlled from the hip. Good. As we get lifted and finish those rounds, I'd like you to keep the knee lifted, keep the hip open, and straighten the left leg so the left toes are pointing to the right corner of the room. Get a nice side bend stretch all the way up through that left hip, through the left side of the waistline. Be closing that gap. Exhale, shift forward, 3-pointed plank. Left knee is high to the outside of the left armpit or elbow. All the way up and back, straighten the leg, get that line again. We're creating a giant C shape. Exhale, shift the weight forward. Left knee goes high to the armpit or the elbow. And then slowly set that left foot down. Right knee comes down, rise on up, low lunge. I like to curl my back toes under. This gives me more stability, but it's up to you. Sometimes top of the foot can feel a little nicer. You can also get a little deeper. Reach the arms up like you're going to grab something. Take an inhale, telescope up through the ribs. And exhale, grab down. Reach the heart forward and straighten through the front leg. Inhale, pull through space, arms go back up. Exhale, grab something, pull it down, reach the heart forward, lengthen. Inhale all the way back up. Grab something, pull it down. Exhale, lean, reach. And then set the hands down. For me, I need to adjust that front leg, so I'm in my half splits. Anatomically, we're gonna all be a little different. You have, hopefully, 2 set of blocks. You will just need one of those blocks, and we'll set it underneath the right hand. Setting it underneath the right hand, please reach your left arm forward. Breath in. Reach the left fingertips forward, but feel that left sit bone pull back. Maintain left sit bone pulling back. Maintain the ball mount of that left foot pushing down. And we'll exhale, open up for a modified twisting triangle. Reach up through the left arm. Get tall, bottom to top hand. And let's exhale, reach and close. So we're neutralizing torso with the floor. Reach a little bit further. Left butt goes a little bit further back. And then exhale, open up into that modified twisting triangle. Exhale, left arm reaches forward. Set the left hand down. Trade out the block hands. We're setting the block likely to medium height. Rebending through that left knee. Spinning the right foot back. So we have our warrior 2 legs. Block will go just inside the line of the left foot. So we have left hand, left elbow, left shoulder. And we have this beautiful modified side angle. Allow the legs to do most of the work here. Yes, you're supporting with the hand on the block, but feel how the legs are really grounding you. Feel how they're working for you. Can you slide the left inner thigh a little bit further forward? And as that happens, can you draw the pubic bone slightly up as if it's going to kiss through the inner part of the right frontal rib? Back heel, feel the whole back circle of your right heel pushing down. Driving through both legs, super light on that front hand, and come on up to warrior 2. This is our first standing pose. Because it's our first standing pose, I want you to sit up a little bit taller. And remind yourself again how you showed up. You're here, you're practicing, you're doing it. Not always an easy thing, especially as we get into practice more. People think that it gets easier as you practice. It gets easier to show up. The moves are easier, but that's just not the case. Life doesn't get easier linearly. The beautiful thing is you have this practice that mirrors and responds and honors what's going on in your life. You always change it up. Keep that front leg bent. Take your right arm and swim it forward for a counterweight. Left arm is reaching up and back. We have a modified reverse warrior. Reach the right arm forward like it's going to touch toward that left inner knee point. Stay grounded through the legs. Come all the way back up through your warrior 2. Straighten through your left leg. Turn the left toes in so that you're facing toward the long edge of the mat. And we'll come down for a prasarita. You have a set of blocks. Use them if you need them. Blocks work really well under the shoulder line if you are using them. Do your best to let your head be heavy, your neck be heavy. Your head makes contact with the floor. It's a good sign. You can scoot your feet a little bit closer. And now what would happen if you allowed your next exhale to really let something go? Doesn't matter what it is, no. Just that thought of, could I let something go? How would that feel like? How could I let go of my breath in that way when that possibility is within my grasp? Nice and easy. Come back up to tall arms. Walk the hands to the front of the mat. And as gracefully as possible, step back into your plank. Your choice of flow, knees or no knees, rolling cobra, cobra, or upward facing dog. Go ahead. When you arrive in down dog, slow down 2 breaths for yourself just because you have the time. Let's rise up through the heels, inhale. Exhale, right leg lifted up, bend your knee, open up through your hip. Now squeeze your heel towards your butt. Turn on your hamstrings. 2 really good circles in each direction. The knee is drawing it, but the hip is initiating it. Good. Now, keep the hip open to the meaning that right hip point is reaching more toward the ceiling than toward the floor. And point the left toes or the right toes, so we're reaching toward the left back corner of the room. Get a little higher through that left heel. Breath in. Exhale, C shape. Come forward, 3-pointed plank. Right knee gets high. Inhale all the way back. Open up. Reach those right toes to the back corner of the room. And then exhale, sweep it around. Hug, lift high. Place the foot down right into your low lunge. Be mindful about what your back toes are doing. Place them in a way that's going to help you. Get confident about how you're taking up your space and reach up as you take a breath in. Grab something you want. It's right there. As you exhale, straighten through your front leg. Reach the hands back. Torso goes forward. Inhale. Pull yourself into that space. Reach the arms up. Lift up through sides of the armpits. Exhale, straightening through the front leg. We have our hovering half splits. Inhale, pull into space, pressing through the feet. Your feet are your drivers here. Exhale, reach and lean forward. Set the hands down, adjust the front leg so that we can keep those hips right over the back knee. Toes are pointing, ball the foot is on the floor. We get a nice little stretch through the foot, maybe through the shin. We'll take our block, set it underneath the left hand. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, one line. Right arm will reach forward. So right arm reaches forward, the crease of that right hip, that right sit bone is going back. Breath in. Exhale, open up into our modified twisting triangle. I love this pose. Like, I hated regular triangle, regular twisting triangle for so long because while my body could physically do it, it looked like I was in the pose. It felt terrible. And that's again, how is your practice feeling on a day-to-day basis? Is it terrible? Because if it's terrible, you need to change it up. Otherwise, it's really hard to show up for yourself. Creating fun, creating enjoyment in what you do is going to make it a lot better for your life, especially if you have to do it every day. Let's reach that right arm back forward. Right hip pocket goes back, right fingertips go forward, and we have one more open. Exhale, reach, lots of space. Exhaling, hand comes down, rebend through that right knee. I'm going to turn around so you can see me in a different angle this time. But we'll place the right hand now on the block, probably about medium setting. Right knee is bending a lot, adjusting the back left leg so we're in our warrior two stance and rising up for our modified side angle. Adjusting a little bit through that right hand, but most of the support is coming through my legs. The right inner thigh is sending forward. That back foot is grounding down. The back of the heel, we feel it pushing down. It's not just a hug through that inner arch of the foot, it's a pushing down through the outer edge. It's a hugging in through the arch of the foot. And it's a scoop and a press around through the heel. And you feel the pubic bone hug up a little bit, almost like it's going to trace toward the left corner of the ribs in the front this time. With the legs very active, push through them and rise up into your warrior two. Something you might have noticed on the other side, if your eyes weren't closed, is that my direction of where my head is facing is not traditionally forward. It's straight ahead forward. Why I like this alignment is because then your head, your neck, and your spine are all doing the same thing. You're not looking anywhere either, which what tends to happen when students look is this kind of thing starts to happen. We're not looking forward, we're not looking back, we're looking right here. We're being with ourselves right here, and we can close down the eyes and get really centered. What part about this pose makes you feel powerful? Make it a good answer. Keep that little fire. Open the eyes. We're swimming the left arm forward for our counterweight to pull. Right arm is going up and back into our reverse warrior. Keep the right knee bending. Slide the weight of the left hand forward. Power through the legs. Inhale, come back up with the torso. We'll straighten through your front leg, turn the toes in, and come down for your prasarita. Again, blocks might be your best friends here. If you'd like to explore something different, clasping the hands behind the back, rinsing everything out might be pretty nice. For me, since I tend to go too far without the support, I like bending my knees. You could try this. And you can also try pivoting side to side with or without the arm clasp. Get some strength working in through those thighs. The hands are clasped, release them. And set the hands back down on the floor. Now, for this next one, you might need a block. Coming into a pose called flank stretch. How we set this up is one side at a time. We'll start with our hands walking over to the left. Walk your hands over to the left. And if you're already like, Bree, this is real tight, then what will happen is you'll set your right hand, excuse me, your left hand on the block. So same hand on the block that the leg we're leaning to. Your opposite hand, your right hand is weaving under and catching somewhere along the outer left leg line. As soon as it catches that, now ankle is going to be more tricky, we fold down. I'm not going to be using my block. You can. I want you to push your hand down into the block or into the floor. Lean your weight of the left side of the ribs over to the left. Excuse me. I'm mirroring you. Lean your right side of the ribs over to your right as you're leaning over to the left. So two opposite things are happening to create this side flank stretch. You are like a hammock, magnetizing the right side of the ribs over to your right as the hands are fixed over to the left, as your head is leaning over to the left. This is a pose that's sometimes trickier to get into and trickier to feel. So if you're watching this, you have questions, send me a message later. Slow down, 2 more rounds of breath. And then we'll release. Okay. Let's go right to the other side. Walk it over. Now that right hand will be on a block if you need the extra room. Your left hand is sweeping along to the outer left leg, outer right leg line somewhere. And then as we fold down, there is a complete surrender. And as that surrender happens, then we add the tension of right side, right hand are fixed. Left side is the one that wants to magnetize over. Left ribs are reaching over toward the left side of the room. Right hand or left hand, both fixing over towards your right. What we're feeling is this massive opening through the left side of the ribs. Another breath or so. And then it's a release. Let's heel toe those feet in slightly until the toes are wider than your hips. Heels are just on the outer edges of the hips. We can come down for Malasana. Do a little sway. Say it's okay. It's okay to mess up left and right. It's okay to wake up not ready for your day, but what are you going to do about it? You're going to keep moving. Gonna keep moving. Gonna keep moving. That's our mantra today. All right, since we're about all of 4 or 5 inches from the floor, maybe, let's sit the butt down and have the soles of the feet together. Press the soles of the feet together. Adjust the feet so that they're closer towards your pubic bone, and then lock on your hands to your ankles. We are locking out the arms. Why? Because I want you to sit up super tall. Show you from the side. Stay there. Sit up super tall. Feet are pressing together, and then lean back. And lift the heart up. So it's almost like you're going to pull your feet up toward the chest because the arms are locked, because you're leaning back. All this freedom through the chest. Feel this good rinsing out starting to happen through the shoulders, and the hips are getting some attention as well. Exhale, start to release. Help the legs back up. Extend the legs out. Sit up tall. Give me a couple points, a couple flexes. And we got one more little burst before we wind it down. You got one more little burst in you. I know it. It's in there somewhere. Let's cross the ankles. Roll over. If that's not happening today, just find your way through tabletop and all the way back into your downward facing dog. From our downward facing dog, let's get the heels nice and high. And then exhale for me, heels get closer together. The toes are out, the heels are in. Now, knees are going to point to the edges of your mat, left to right, crouching, active child's pose. Breath in. Exhale, butt goes back, knees go wide. We're almost going to touch down. And then we pounce all the way back up. Heels stay high. Breath in. Exhale, knees are going wide, butt is going back. Yes, lift all the way up. Reach the magical number today. Let's bend the knees. Exhale, butt goes down, butt goes back. Knees are hovering. All the way back up. Heels go parallel. Let's get the left leg up. Bend your knee, open up through your hip. Crossing this time. Left knee over towards your right elbow. All the way up and back. Knee is bending, hip is opening. Exhale, step all the way up. We're landing into our warrior one. Back foot is at about 45. And from the front, it's going to look more like this. There is a clear space in between the front foot and the back foot. If I slid that foot forward, we're on more of a train track than a tightrope. Let's guide the arms up. And this is a different warrior, so experience your energy differently here. You're centered, you're focused. Same energy with that front leg, but can you spin the back heel up for me? Suddenly we're in a high lunge. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Shoulders hug back enough where the chest gets proud. Breath in. Exhale, turn and twist toward the left. Barely touch that left elbow down. Inhale, come all the way back up. Again, lean it forward. Exhale, turn and twist towards your left. Elbow touches a little bit. Inhale, back up. Once more, exhale, turn and twist toward the left. This time the elbow will touch. Make a fist with your bottom hand. Top hand is placing on top. And that is the lever that we're using for our twisting high lunge. Feel as though the left knee wants to trace forward a little bit more toward the left pinky toe. And as that happens, left butt scoops back toward the right a little bit. Right thigh is lifting up. Take a breath in. Push through the ball mount of your right foot. Now slowly, 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 can we come up to a standing twisting lunge, arm bowl opening up into a giant T. Big journey here, thinking what a warrior two would feel like. As you exhale, transition to make that happen. The front foot's going to need to swivel forward toward the right a little bit. Let that be okay. Think down a little bit more in your warrior two. Keep that front leg nice and anchored. Open up space, push through the left foot. Reverse triangle, left foot is grounded, left arm reaches all the way up and over, fingers to toes, one long line. Exhale, dive it back down through your warrior two. Set your hands down, right knee comes down, and we'll come in for a pigeon. Pigeon sometimes can be more felt upright than down. If pigeon is not happening like this for you today, come out of it. We'll cross the left ankle on top of your right. Hands will go back. And we'll kickstand that right heel. So we have a seated pigeon. Very similar sensation. Choose what is going to honor your body in the moment. Honor and challenge. Close down the eyes. All we're here for is 5 breaths. I'm not going to tell you when to come out because you'll know when to come out when you hit those 5 breaths. Down dog is where you'll end up. When you arrive in down dog, be sure to slow down 2 breaths just because you have time. The last little push. Get the heels lifted, breath in. This time, right leg lifts up, bend your knee, open up through your hip. Breath in. Exhale, cross that right knee over towards your left armpit, elbow. Reach it up, reach it up. Inhale all the way up, bend the knee, open through the hip. Exhale, nice and smooth, step on up into your warrior one. Back heel is grounded down, toes are about a 45. What's more important is that there's space for the hips. Are they going to face and square completely forward? Very likely not. Do we want them to square forward? Not necessarily. What we want is a feeling of stability so that the hips can go down, so that your heels can push down and they can scrub in a little bit. So there's a sense of stability. There's a sense of support around here. You sink through that front thigh. And the arms are up if they're not already. Same strong energy in the front leg. Let's rise the back heel up so we're managing a high lunge. Hands will come through to heart center. Thinking about barely tapping this left elbow toward the right knee. Breath in. Exhale, lean forward first. Then think about that rotation. Tap. Come back up. Strong, strong, strong through that front leg. Exhale, lean forward. Rotate. Tap. Back up, pressing through the legs to rise. Exhale, cross to tap, and now we make the bottom hand a fist, the top hand on top. Adjust so that we can slide the torso forward and open up. Soften through your jaw, through the forehead center, through your eyebrows. Feel that the left thigh isn't just lifting, but it's lifting all the way up through groin and hips to rise. Push through the feet. Stay in your twist and rise up into a T, twisting lunge. What would a warrior two feel like? Get that in your mind first. Once you have it, once you can kind of feel it, make it happen. Open up. Your right foot will swivel toward the left a little bit. And keeping it there is okay as well, because then we're creating more space through the hip. Legs are strong. Breath is present. And you're here. And all of that. Straighten through the front leg. Turn it into a reverse triangle. Lots of space. Back up. Warrior two. Set the hands down. Pigeon. You're doing the seated version. Don't need to come down. Upright or lower. Take your time to find a more ease than effort. If you feel like you're gripping through the shoulders, sometimes what I like to do is take a block, place it underneath my chest or underneath my head, so that there's less work happening where you don't need it to be. It's your 5 breath count. Down dog after 5 breaths. Move an exhale out. Pull an inhale in. Out the mouth, let it go. Slowly set your knees down. Sit all the way up. Now, I personally don't find this super comfortable just because my ankles are quite mobile. So I'm going to sit up on a block. You can too. Maybe it's 2 blocks, but please sit upright. Remember, this is a video so that we feel ready for our day. So we're not going to like wind down too much. With an upright spine, place the hands on the tops of the thighs. I'm going to work a few rounds of Kapalabhati, slow and steady. So sometimes this is taught like really fiery. Yes, it's fiery, but we're working more of a clearing now. Sometimes this is referred to as this like third eye cleanser. And what the intent or the goal that I hope that we can work through is when you're exhaling, you're getting that slow contraction from belly. That energy is lining all the way up through the front of the heart, all the way up through the throat, in through your third eye, right around here, maybe in through your mind. And it's just like, hey, we're here. Hey, right? It's a gentle, it's a loving way to be like, get here, get present. So let's try that. Hands set down, shoulders hug back a little bit. Torso's in line with the hips, the shoulders. Slow rounds. We'll start together. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Halfway breath in, prepare. Here we go. Exhale. Little inhale. Exhale. Little inhale. Exhale. Little inhale. Continue. Those inhales are just letting the belly soften out. It's not a push. The exhales, however, are connected. They are strong. They are short and sharp and powerful. Do about 10 more. Release that. Move on to a 5-count inhale breath, 5-count exhale breath. Inhale, please, for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Through the nose, exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do 3 more rounds. Release the count. Release the arms by the sides of the body. Take a giant breath in as the arms reach up. Exhale, bring the hands together at your heart center. Feel where you take up space and take a breath for yourself. Honoring and acknowledging all of the ways you did show up. Bow the head. And on the inhale, lifting your head, opening the eyes, and letting in the light. Thank you so much for joining me for this little mini practice just to feel better, to get in your body and get ready for your day. I hope to see you soon. If you have any questions about what we did, if you'd like to work with me more, please send me a message at Brelee Yoga, Brelee Yoga at Instagram. See you then.